I'm bigcal, and welcome to my world. Today, another Star Wars books video. Just last month, in April 2017, a new book was released, which is officially part of canon, on the character of Thrawn. And of course, I had to pick it up and read it. It's Thrawn. I love the Thrawn trilogy. I enjoyed the Hand of Thrawn duology, and thankfully this new Thrawn book is written by the same guy, which means that any mention of his backstory in those prior books pretty much come into play in this one. It's not an entirely new version of Thrawn or anything like that. It's literally as if those books were part of canon as well, and this one's just going back and looking at his history. Wow, this is an amazing book. I'll say that right off the bat. Fantastic. I enjoyed it more than the Thrawn trilogy and the Hand of Thrawn duology. I enjoyed it more than most of the Star Wars books I've read so far. I would go as far as to say is that it's a top 3 book based on Star Wars that I've read at the moment. It is right up there with Darth Plagueis and Tarkin. So, the actual book, Thrawn. It starts off basically with Thrawn being found by the Empire. They go to look at this set of, they think smugglers have been there maybe, and a ship has been destroyed, and there's some cargo there, so they go looking at it, and then they end up being essentially ambushed by a group of people. Turns out it isn't a group of people, it is in fact simply one, Thrawn. He gets captured, taken to the ship, and then from there somehow ends up being introduced to the Emperor, which is sort of kind of odd. Now, I understand that Thrawn, being a tactician and a genius and all that, would have done certain things and manipulated certain events in order to get that meeting with the Emperor, but we don't find out any of that. We just he gets captured, and then the next thing is being taken to Coruscant and presented in front of the Emperor. My only guess for that is that, obviously they report to Coruscant that they've captured somebody. He tells them his name, obviously, his full name, but he says he's just calling Thrawn because it's easier. Thank God. Maybe the Emperor, heard about it. Obviously, he's the Emperor, and then decided, it's been a bit. But we never really got into that. It's just like, he's been captured, and now he's in front of the Emperor. It's like, what? Anyway, so he's in front of the Emperor, and one of the things that I really like about this book is we find out, what kind of person Thrawn is. He's not some, psychotic, evil, murderous guy. He isn't. He would rather save lives than kill. That's one big difference between him and basically the rest of the Empire. He agrees, basically, to join the Empire on the condition that the Emperor and the Empire would one day help him and his people, the Chiss, in wherever they live in the unknown regions. And he gives the Emperor some information as well on what's out there. The unknown regions, helps him map it out because the Emperor is very interested in the unknown regions. So, Thrawn isn't joining the Empire because he wants to take over and he wants to kill people and things like that. He thinks that he needs their help, and that's that. And we'll later find out that, he manipulated things so that the Empire would discover him on that planet. So he joins up, and because he doesn't speak Basic as well as he would like, Basic being the language that everyone speaks, essentially English, he speaks some unknown region language, which just so happens that a guy who's still in the training academy, who was on that mission when they found Thrawn, knows this language because he's from I don't know if he's from the unknown regions or right at the edge, so he sort of picks up on that language as well, because his parents are in shipping, so they deal with lots of people. So he gets basically added as his translator, and is forced to stay with Thrawn during the academy, where he only has 3 months, and this guy, Eli Vanto, he only has 3 months left, and he ends up being moved to the academy, the Royal Academy at Coruscant, which is like insane for a guy like him. And Thrawn just has 3 months essentially to sort of catch up on, how the Empire runs things, because he's already a tactical military genius even at this point. Although we don't actually find out his age. I have no idea how old he is. Yeah, so, and he's also made a lieutenant immediately, which, doesn't go down well with a lot of people, especially because he's an alien. And, they both graduate, and Eli Vantos? I've already forgot his name. I will look it up right now. Vanto, there we go. Eli Vanto. Yeah, so they get their assignments after they've graduated now, and Eli Vanto thinks he's going to be put on a ship and be involved in shipping, so that's what his parents done, that's what he's really good at. Instead, he ends up being an aide to Lieutenant Thrawn, which is highly irregular because pretty much the only people who have aides, essentially, is, a commander of a ship. So that's very weird, and he goes through quite a long period where he resents Thrawn because he thought, Thrawn had a hand in this and he's taken him away from his path, and he doesn't get promoted for years due to politics. They hate Thrawn, but he's so much of a tactical genius and has so much success they can't really do anything to him, so they hold back his aid, which forces him to resent Thrawn in a lot of ways. So that goes on for years, but Thrawn just keeps getting promoted again and again, which is insane for a non-human, and even for humans. He gets promoted so quickly, keeps getting command of ships and things like that. Does all these successful missions despite the fact that his commanding officers don't really like him. He sort of takes over in a lot of times, and he ends up really getting his commanding officers in trouble just because he's better than them and gives them the ideas, and then the commanding officers maybe get in trouble for certain things. So there's a lot of politics going on in the background that Thrawn doesn't really understand. He's just all about being a military genius, and a lot of times, his plans involve not killing anyone, saving a lot of lives rather than materials, which is what the Empire is more invested in. Because in the background to all this, they are, they're getting all of this particular rare metal. They're all stockpiling it because they're building the Death Star, which Thrawn starts to investigate on his own. There's also Governor Price, who you might know from the Rebel show. It shows how she becomes the governor. She starts off on Lothal with her parents. The Empire takes over their family mining facility, and she ends up going to Coruscant, working for the current the senator. She ends up getting blackmailed and fired, having to work from the bottom again, and she keeps going up and uncovering these plans, and ends up making friends with, friends with Tarkin and Thrawn. And she ends up becoming the governor of Lothal, hence Governor Price. So it's cool to see her rise as well as Thrawn's, because they both end up meeting at numerous times. Plus it helps tie in with Rebels as well. It just keeps going on with Thrawn getting promoted, all these genius plans that he comes up with. They're against, all the way through, a guy called Nightshade. They're trying to find out who he is and what he's all about. And like I said, we keep learning about Thrawn and how Thrawn doesn't want to kill people. He really doesn't. He's trying to save lives and protect people, and he's trying to do that with the resources of the Empire, hoping that in the future they'll continue to help him do that with his people in the unknown regions. He does eventually find out about the Death Star, and it's right when he's about to be made a Grand Admiral, and he refuses to become a Grand Admiral until the Emperor in person explains what's going on with the Death Star, because he foresees it as a threat to his people. The Emperor might use his Death Star to take over everything. But yeah. Overall, a really great book. Like I said, we learn a lot about Thrawn. There's a ton of different stuff in it, lots of missions that he goes on. He's constantly up for trial because, like I said, he saves lives over other things. He's always, what's the term? He's always, going over his own power and, going over the heads of some of his superiors because he knows what's right. There's also one thing that they keep teasing in this book is that Thrawn met Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars at one point and apparently helped him out with some really crazy battle. And they keep hinting at it that they're going to finally tell us what it is, and they don't, and I hate it. And then they also end with Vanto, I keep forgetting his name, with Vanto, travelling to the Chiss right at the end. Sorry, my dog's just walking past. And he seems to be going there to help those out. And it ends with Thrawn meeting Vader, and then the Governor Price, essentially blackmailing Thrawn into going to Lothal to help her with the rebels, which is where he first debuted in the TV show. So I'm hoping there's going to be a sequel. There has to be a sequel because there's still so much about Thrawn that we do not know. We don't know. Obviously, Rebels will go into certain bits of detail. We'll probably see what happens to him and the rebels and things like that, obviously, before the Death Star is built. But I doubt it will go into detail with how he gets sent to the unknown regions and of course what he actually does there and what he was doing while the Death Stars, both of them getting blown up, and the Emperor was killed and him coming back to take over. So really hope there's going to be another Thrawn book. So yeah, this is a magnificent book, magnificent read, and pick it up, definitely pick it up. Like I say, it's one of the top 3 books I've read so far, up there with Darth Plagueis and Tarkin. Wonderful, wonderful book, highly recommend it. So I'm bigcal, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.